Birds are everywhere. They are found on every continent, and everyone has probably seen a bird. Whether that be a pigeon in the city, a sparrow out the window, or geese migrating overhead. Many species of birds are also endangered by habitat loss and degradation, overhunting, pollutants, collisions with windows and power lines, or invasive species. But why should we care? Are birds actually important to our lives and the ecosystem? Today, I'll walk you through 5 ways that birds are important and what we can do to help. First up is agricultural benefits. The main way that birds help with agriculture is through the consumption of agricultural pests. Birds eat an estimated 400 to 500 million tons of insects per year, with many of these being primary agricultural pests. This pest control service is estimated to be worth as much as a couple $billion globally per year. Birds of prey also feed on small rodents that would otherwise damage crops and impair storage. Number 2 is the impact of birds on society, culture, and people. Birds are perhaps the most impactful to people through society and culture. They have appeared in art, myths, and even as representations of nations. Art and literature have been inspired by birds for millennia, helping to connect people to nature. Birds also have a profound psychological and aesthetic benefit, bringing beauty, joy, and enhanced mental health to people. Birds are constantly affecting our society and culture, as well as the ecosystem where they live. Number 3, ecosystem stability. One of the most important reasons to conserve birds is their contribution to the ecosystem in which they live. Birds serve a variety of roles, including seed dispersal, scavenging, habitat creation, and ecological regulation. As many birds eat seeds or fruits containing seeds, when the birds defecate, they will spread these seeds to new areas. This allows plants to spread much farther and faster than they would normally be able to go, and can majorly impact the local ecosystem. Birds not only change the environment through seed dispersal, but also through the creation of new habitats. This is done by birds such as woodpeckers that create cavities in trees that may be used by other species later, and waterfowl that, when foraging in flooded areas, stir up sediment and increase composition. Probably the most important benefit of birds to an ecosystem is ecological regulation, through apex predators such as large birds of prey that keep the population of prey species in check. Birds are also a food source for countless other species that could not exist without them. Finally, birds like vultures and crows are scavengers that feed on the carcasses of dead animals. This limits the likelihood of disease and cycles nutrients back into the environment. At number 4, scientific advancement. Over the years, birds have contributed significantly to scientific advancements. Birds have contributed through studies in neuroscience and hormones that help us understand brain function and the effect of hormones on behavior. Bird genetics and behavior have also been studied to offer insight into species information, social dynamics, and animal behavior. Engineers use birds in the creation of various objects such as the B-2 aircraft and the creation of wind turbines as we know them today. In fact, if you have zippers right now, then you have birds to thank for these everyday objects, as they were specifically designed after feather boilers. And finally, number 5, economic value. Each year, millions of people travel specifically for wildlife watching. Of all the wildlife watched, birds are the most common. Birds and birding have a large economic impact on countries. In the US alone, nearly $75 billion are made off birding through traveling and expenses. Birding also creates about 600,000 jobs and billions of dollars in income tax and tax revenue. Outside of direct birding, bird seed and feeders account for roughly $6 billion in annual income. Birds are an important part of both the ecosystem and our society. So what can we do to help birds? How can we help birds? As birds are a vital part of our lives, whether we realize it or not, it's important that we try to conserve them and their habitats. Some ways of doing this include making windows safer, planting native species, using fewer chemicals, reducing light pollution, joining citizen science projects, and learning about birds and educating others. To make windows safer, decals or screens may be used. Planting native species supports the native birds and provides better habitat and forage, while the reduction of chemicals such as pesticides, herbicides, and insecticides will lower the harm done to both the birds directly and to their insect food sources. Turning off unnecessary lights, especially during migration, will contribute to preventing disoriented birds during migration. Through citizen science projects, you can contribute to data and enhance what we know about birds while helping to conserve them. And finally, probably the most important way that you can help conserve birds is through learning about them and educating others. This will instill values to the future generation as to why birds are important to our society and why they should be conserved. So, in conclusion, birds are not only found on every continent on Earth, but are vital to the ecosystem and people in the areas where they inhabit.